If you've opened Google Flights recently, you probably thought it was a glitch. London, Paris, Rome. The prices right now are wild. We're talking 20 to 27% higher than last year. But don't panic book yet, because the cheapest move right now may not be booking earlier, it may be changing the way you search. In this video, I'm breaking down the brutal reality of why flights got this expensive, and 5 practical hacks to beat the system. Let's start with why these prices went crazy in the first place. And I promise, we'll keep the economics short enough that nobody needs coffee. The short version is this. Airlines are paying way more to fly the plane, and they'd really like you to cover the bill. Fuel is one of the biggest pressure points. When jet fuel gets more expensive, airlines do not usually absorb that pain out of kindness. They pass as much of it as they can into the fare. And global energy uncertainty does not help. When oil markets get nervous because of supply concerns, shipping routes, or tension around places like the Strait of Hormuz, jet fuel can move fast. Oil gets jumpy, jet fuel gets expensive, and suddenly your seat in row 28B feels like a luxury asset. Then there's the Spirit problem. Even if you never flew them, Spirit kept the big airlines honest by offering rock-bottom fares. With Spirit no longer operating, that pressure is much weaker, giving United, Delta, and American more room to push prices higher without losing passengers to budget carriers. Higher fuel, weaker competition, route cuts, and peak summer demand, all hitting at once. Lovely, right? That's exactly why you need a smarter booking strategy. And the first smart move might already be sitting in your credit card account. There are people walking around with 80,000 credit card points, 3 airline accounts, 2 old trip credits, and still paying cash for a summer flight. Please don't be that person. Points and miles are not decorative. They are there to be used when cash prices get rude. And right now, cash prices are very rude. So before you pay for anything, check 3 places: your credit card travel portal, your airline mileage accounts, and any old trip credits sitting from past cancellations or schedule changes. That last one is sneaky. A lot of travelers have airline credit they completely forgot about, just sitting there like a gift card at the bottom of a junk drawer. The trick is to search with an open mind. Don't start with, "I must fly to Paris on July 12th or summer is ruined." Try this instead. Where can my points get me without making me question my life choices? Maybe Paris is absurd, but Dublin works. Maybe the airline you normally fly wants too many miles, but one of its partners has a better deal. That's where points can actually save you, not when you use them emotionally, but when you use them strategically. And if you have old trip credits, use them now. That's not bonus money. That's money you already mourned once. Let it come back and do something useful. Paying cash anyway? Good. Now we stop letting the calendar bully you. Friday afternoon flights are expensive for one very obvious reason. Everybody wants them. People finish work, rush to the airport, and board with the same exhausted look. Airlines know this. They price those flights accordingly. Sunday evening is the same story. Everyone wants to get home before Monday, unpack, pretend they'll do laundry, and then absolutely not do laundry. So if you want a better fare, look at Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Tuesday and Wednesday are often cheaper because fewer people want to start or end a trip in the middle of the work week. Saturday can also be a sweet spot because most travelers are already at their destination or waiting until Sunday to come home. Would you fly on a Tuesday if it saved you $180? That's the question. Because sometimes shifting by one day saves enough to cover a hotel night, a rental car upgrade, or at least one airport sandwich that somehow costs $22 and tastes like printer paper. Use the calendar view on Google Flights. Don't just search for one exact date, look across the whole month. Play with Tuesday to Tuesday, Wednesday to Wednesday, Saturday to Tuesday. The cheapest fare is often hiding 1 or 2 days away from the date you first typed in. But what if shifting days isn't enough? What if the real savings come from waiting just a little longer? Not 3 months, not next year, but maybe 30 to 45 days past peak summer. That brings us to hack number 3. This is the hack nobody likes at first, until they see the price difference. July travel is crowded, sweaty, and financially aggressive. But once late August passes, things change. Kids go back to school. Airlines and hotels start acting a little less smug. Some European destinations can get 30 to 40% cheaper in late August compared with peak summer. By September and October, you often get better fares, better weather, and fewer people standing directly in front of landmarks taking 400 photos of the same pose. Honestly, fall travel might be the better trip. New England in October? Beautiful. Europe in September? Still warm, still gorgeous, and you can actually walk around without feeling like you joined a parade by accident. So before you book a painful July fare, run the exact same search for September. Then try October. And if you have kids in school, I know this gets harder, but even shifting from early July to the last week of August can make a difference. Of course, some fares are so stubborn they deserve their own customer service line. That's when you stop negotiating with the airline and redesign the vacation. Sometimes, the smartest airfare hack is admitting the airfare already ruined the math. Because if the airline wants $1,200 just to get one person into the air, that is not a vacation yet, that is the entrance fee. And if a family of 4 is staring at $4,800 before hotels, food, rental cars, or one emotionally unnecessary airport cinnamon roll, the trip may already be working against you. So before you let the airline eat the vacation, redesign the vacation. Could the same money buy a better cabin, a lake house, a national park week, or a city you can reach by car without needing a second mortgage and a checked bag fee? That is not giving up. That is refusing to let the flight become the main character. For Americans, national parks can be a very smart plan B when flights are acting personally offensive. Yes, the famous parks can be packed in summer. But go midweek, choose a less obvious park, or look at state parks nearby, and suddenly the trip feels less like a compromise and more like you beat the system. The goal is not to prove you can still fly. The goal is to buy the best vacation your money can actually afford. Because if the flight eats half the budget before the vacation even starts, you are not booking a trip anymore. You are funding an airline's bad mood. But if flying is still the plan, then your final move is to stop checking prices manually like a stressed out stock trader. Manually checking flights every few hours is not a strategy. It's emotional damage with Wi-Fi. Use price alerts. Google Flights, Hopper, Kayak, and Skyscanner can watch fares for you. Set your route, dates, nearby airports, or even flexible destinations, and let the tools notify you when prices move. Google Flights is great because it shows whether a fare is low, typical, or high compared with past prices. It also lets you track specific flights and routes. Hopper can be useful if you want predictions on whether to book now or wait, but there's one thing most people get wrong. They set the alert, get a good price, hesitate, text 3 friends, ask their cousin, sleep on it, check again, and now the fare is $220 higher. The tool did its job. You were the delay. So before you even start tracking, decide your buy price. If you're flying from Chicago to Denver and anything under $250 feels fair, then when you see $228, book it. Don't sit there trying to squeeze it down to $213 like you're haggling over a used lawn chair at a garage sale. Also, track nearby airports. If you're in New York, compare JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark. Around Los Angeles, check LAX, Burbank, Long Beach, Ontario, and even San Diego. Near DC, look at DCA, Dulles, and Baltimore. Sometimes the airport you normally ignore is the one quietly offering the same fare. Once alerts, nearby airports, smarter dates, and a clear buy price are working together, you're no longer panic refreshing. You're booking like someone who knows the game is rigged but still found the side door. The people who save this summer probably won't be the ones who book first. They'll be the ones who search wider, shift smarter, and know when to walk away from a bad fare. So before you book, ask yourself, is this actually a good fare, or am I just tired of searching? Tell me in the comments. If flights are too expensive this summer, what's your move? Points, midweek flights, fall travel, road trip, or staying local. And subscribe for more travel tips that save money without turning your vacation into homework.